Hello students, myself Benazir Fatima, Assistant Professor, School of Legal Studies, PPD University. Today I'll be teaching you an introduction on microeconomics. My content contains the introduction, definition basically, the scope, economic statics and economic dynamics. So the definition basically states that microeconomics is the branch of economics that deals with the study of behavior of the individuals and the firms, which makes decisions and allocates their scarce resources by having an interaction amongst themselves. So it is a study of you and me, of all the individual who's concerned with the allocation of resources, who's concerned with the usage of his or her resources in the given parameters he or she has and makes decisions accordingly. It is the behavior of the consumers, of the individuals who decide about what their actions is going to be on the given commodities or the goods and services in terms of their consumption. It is also a science of how people make decisions at small level, at small scale. It studies about how the person chooses what to buy and from where to buy and at what price. So it is the very basic or the common behavior which a person has to take, which it is the person who has to see whether he or she is taking the right decisions regarding the goods and services available to him or her in the market. Now we move further with the scope of microeconomics. The scope contains various parameters, various theories, basically who plans our action and reaction, how we react to them, how we make decisions, how we interact with the resources, how we interact with the other individuals in the economy. The basic scope of microeconomics contains the theory of product pricing, which has got two constituents, namely the theory of consumers behavior and the theory of production and cost. The theory of consumers behavior basically studies the behavior of the consumer who is about to purchase certain things, certain commodity, maybe individual or a group of commodities within the given budget he or she has. So the theory of consumers' behavior is the study of the individual who is planning to behave, who is planning to react or to give his expressions, his decisions regarding the given commodities in the market. He is about to choose from the given combinations or from the variety of products or goods or services which he is having a privilege to choose from. The next constituent is the theory of production and cost. The theory of production and cost involves the basic focus which a person thinks basically focuses on the cost because he has to pay the amount, the cost of the product that he is using, and the production sector has to think about what price, at what cost he is going to present it to the economy so that people can purchase easily. Now the theory of cost and production is related to the very basics of the individual's choice because it is related to the money, to the monetary terms, to the money, the budget or the price, the cost which a person is going to pay or which a person is going to get from the individual. So the theory of cost helps in deciding as and studying as to what's the behavior of the people of the individual regarding the cost of the product and also to study the concept or from the point of view of the producers to as to how to quote the prices or assemble the raw materials and incur the production process having and putting a very reasonable cost and planning out all the production is studied under the theory of production, which is also related to the behavior of the consumers as to how they are going to respond to the goods produced and how they are going to purchase them and increase the sales. Now we have the theory of factor pricing, which is what the return or the reward or the earnings of all the four factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, who will earn rent, wages, interest and profits respectively in return to their services whatever they give to the economy. Then economic welfare is it is basically deciding on the factors that no poor is harmed and no rich expands beyond a limit. There should be an equilibrium, there should be a welfare in the economy concerning each and every individual without any discrepancies or without any discriminations. And it is microeconomics is sometimes referred to as theory of price or the price theory, because prices are the core of microeconomics, and because the consumer's behavior, the reactions of the individual depends on the prices of the commodities that they have to pay. They have to decide about the price, whether they're going to pay that particular price or not, whether they are able to pay, whether they want to pay. All these basic decisions are concerned with the individual's behavior, with the individual's understanding or acceptance towards the price. So any individual who plans out how to what to purchase, from where to purchase and at what price to purchase, all these behavior, all these decisions, all these priorities which is set up by the individual for himself is basically studied under the microeconomics, and that forms the scope for this particular branch. Now, studying this aspect of microeconomics, we have the situation, basically the reaction of the economies, which is divided into two categories, that is microstatics and the other is microdynamics. Now, first of all, we'll take up microstatics, and we will study what it deals in, what it says about. Let's see. Now, microstatics or economic statics is that method of analysis which deals with the relationship between micro variable at a given time under conditions of equilibrium. It is assumed that the position of equilibrium relates to a given time and that no changes occurs in it. For example, the price of the commodity in the market is determined by the equilibrium of demand and supply at a given time. Microstatic studies the equilibrium price of the commodity at a given time, assuming that the forces of demand and supply do not undergo any changes. So it is that condition, it is that method of analyzing the behavior changes of the conditions of equilibrium, that is when demand and supply is in equilibrium, when they are intersecting each other. So it is assumption, so it is the study of that position when both the factors are at equilibrium or at the same level, which uh, happens to be undisturbed by any other external factors, and at a particular given period of time, and they experience no change or no disturbance from the outside world. Now, the price of the commodity, it has to be in equilibrium at a certain given point of time, and this the factor of price should not be disturbed again and again, because it will disturb the the equilibrium position of the concerned economies, which is connected to that particular economy who is experiencing a price change frequently. So any other factors should not be disturbing this equilibrium, and this state of untouched of equilibrium position or point at a particular period of time is termed to be microeconomics. Now it is That situation where no other factor changes the equilibrium of the economy. Now we have microdynamics, the other part of it. Now this method refers to the process where we reach from one position of equilibrium to the other position. The microeconomics throws full light on the changes from one equilibrium to other. It involves complete study of forces which comes into operation between the disturbance of one equilibrium to the establishment of the other. So for example, again taking the demand and supply example again, the price of a commodity is the result of equilibrium between demand and supply, as we already know. Now, any change in one of these factors is adjusted by the other one, forming a new equilibrium point and a new price level. Now, this is microdynamics because here now the price is getting disturbed and the price is getting changed by the disturbance in the demand or supply by any other by any other outside factor. It can be anything. It can be changes in the fashion, the taste, or income, or a substitute availability, or anything, any other factor which happens to disturb either the demand or the supply happens to create a disequilibrium in the economy. And the adjustment by these factors to the new price by itself or by the government forces and forming a new equilibrium is studied under microdynamics, because here the level of the price level is changing because of the disturbance in the price in the demand and supply. Now, in microstatics, no other factor was changing the position of demand and supply, and the price level was fixed at a particular time. Now, here at the next movement under microdynamics, the other factor happens to disturb the demand and supply of any of the products, and the demand and supply again happens to become in the equilibrium position by getting adjusted either by themselves or by the government forces and happening and making a new equilibrium point, which is important for the economy. Because for an economy to be peacefully working, it is important that it has to be at a constant price level, at a controlled price level, so that it could not it may not form any kind of disturbances in the concerned or the related economy. The price fluctuations may affect the economies really in a very deep way. So whatever, basically the price, if it is getting disturbed by any of the factors, which is apart from which is which happens to change the demand and supply of any product, then definitely it has got to be in the state of equilibrium again. So the position from the one disturbance till the other position is formed, which is the new equilibrium point, which is undisturbed, which is untouched. This process is known as microdynamics. So it is a process again which uh, throws light on the one position of equilibrium which is getting disturbed by any of the external factors and getting to disturb demand and supply of the product to the new point of equilibrium which is formed, which is adjusted by these two factors, um, which is basically it can be by any governmental force, or it can be by themselves. And this point of equilibrium is a new fresh point which is created, and the new price is created. So we are changing the price level here under micro dynamics. Now this says that, again to sum up the entire lecture, we have studied the economy, the microeconomics, the definition, that is, it is the study of individual, it is a study of the behavior of the individuals basically, or the firms who happen to behave according to the given resources, how they are going to use it, in what manner they are going to use it, the, how they are going to deal with the scarcity of resources and everything. Then we have this scope, we have various theories, we have various factors which tend to have an impact on the microeconomics. various theories, be it consumers' behavior, be it theory of production and cost, be it theory of the various factor payments, etc. Then we moved on into microstatics, which studied that at a particular point, the we took an example that if the price of the commodity is not changing at a certain point of time at a certain level, and that means the demand and supply is not getting disturbed by the outside factors, which happens vice versa in microdynamics, where the price of the commodity is getting changed by any sort of external disturbances. Demand and supply is getting adjusted to form a new equilibrium point and giving us the concept of microdynamics. This was all from my side. Thank you so much.